Hey everyone, I'm NornQueenAlexis and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over Sister Superior Amalia and we're just going to be converting her into a more useful Sister Superior. If you've been a fan of this channel for quite some time, you know that we've already done this. But we're also going to be doing an unboxing of the Sister Repentia Retributor squad. Oh my god, Alexis, just damn. I'm so... That face, it haunts my dreams. It is a nightmare face. It is Macho Man Randy Savage pretending to be a Sister of Battle. I originally thought it was a joke, but holy cow, does it look bad. Anyway, we're going to be converting up some sisters today. That is going to be the main goal of today's video. So what we need for today's conversions and everything, we're going to need an X-Acto knife. We're going to need some green stuff. I have some garbage green stuff, but this works. We're going to need clippers, super glue or your type of glue. I prefer super glue because it's easier to do on video, and an emery board or a nail file. You can also use sandpaper if you're a guy. That way you don't seem, you know, that bad. Anyway, so let's get right into this. So we're just going to cut this box open. Go ahead and just remove all of this. Oh yeah, and before you ask, I did hurt my hand. I got my nails done, but I did hurt my hand. I was fighting 8 bears at once. It was terrifying. And I took them all out with awesome taekwondo that I know. Yeah. Yeah, so the nail ripped up when I took a shower and I slipped. Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to the first of the plastic sisters, excluding Celestine and her 2 Gemini, and get into Amalia. So if you guys have never opened an Amalia before, the box is actually pretty fun. It actually comes with her older rules and everything, back when she was a Sister Superior, instead of just now what she is, which is a Battle Sister, according to the new codex, which is rather sad. Comes with a poster of her. It's pretty good. We have a dog barking downstairs. I apologize about that. It is some of the original Sister of Battle artwork. And also you can see that this Sister of Battle is wearing makeup, but I digress. We're not going to get too deep into that because Sisters of Battle do wear makeup. Okay, we got this. Hang on. So we're just going to toss stuff off to the side and we're just going to build this model really quickly. So the biggest thing is we're not going to be using the... We're going to be using the arms, but not really for, yeah, too much. So what I have with me is a Space Marine Combi Flamer. This comes from the Stern Guard kit. It is pretty standard. It actually has a drum magazine, which I really like because it's triple ammo count for those of you that play Dark Heresy. It also has the Combi Flamer. It is a Godwin pattern bolter, which kind of works for this. Although I would prefer Godwin Diaz, but I digress. Also, the hand on the Stern Guard is fairly small and matches with the sisters pretty well. So that's another plus to it. So we're going to go ahead and just start removing all of this stuff to get Amalia out of here. And make her into a useful battle sister. I am rather sad that Amalia doesn't actually have any unique rules, but I also understand why she doesn't. Because then Martyred Lady would literally have all of the characters, even though as it stands right now, they have all of the named characters. So kind of miss that. I do have a St. June on the way, which I am really excited about because I really want St. June. She is really cool. I do call her St. June because she is the replacement for canonesses, and canonesses are usually referred to as saints, not living saints. Those are slightly different. Living saints are like the angels and everything, not demons. They're physical. They are not demons. Stop telling me that they're demons. They're literally perpetuals. That's what Celestine is. Okay, we are going to use that head because I actually don't mind the Sister Superior head for Amalea. A lot of the sister heads do look bad, and we do have to acknowledge that. Some of them just look god-awful, but others look pretty good. It really depends on the paint job. GW did a pretty bad job with the painting of the Sisters of Battle on their website, which I think gave them a pretty bad rap right off the bat, because I can show you the Macho Man Randy Savage head. In the box itself, it actually doesn't look as bad. So we'll go ahead and... my clippers don't want to respond perfectly. There we go. Just clean this really quickly. Just trying to clean that mold line right now. There we go. We also have a bunch of snow on the road, if you can't tell from the plow going by. Let's go ahead and move this down just a bit. Okay, so now we have this all cut out. I'm going to go ahead and decide what chainsword I want to give her. Now, for this model, I'm actually going to give her the 30K chainsword. This chainsword is very unique to the 30K Tactical Marines. I can't remember which mark, but the plastic ones they can buy from GW. Because this one actually sits on their back and counts as an extra close combat weapon for 30K, which I really like. All of my Marines are equipped with a chainsword. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. And we're going to go ahead and equip this. So one of the first things is we got to put this model together. So luckily for us, this model is, like most sister models, is fairly straightforward to build. Okay. As I immediately get it wrong, don't mind me. Also, my nails are making this actually pretty difficult, which I think is funny. You guys are wondering where I've been for the past week and a half. I was actually in Reykjavik, Iceland. I was visiting my fiance. We're talking wedding plans very soon, so I'm excited about that. Pretty soon I'll be married, which is terrific. Let's hold that together real quick. There we go. Now, I typically like the sister's head to be angled. So I'm going to go ahead and just put her head on by dipping a little tiny bit of glue right in there. And then I'm actually going to cut off the peg on her head, which is very difficult to do with just my nails. So we're going to go ahead and clip that peg. And most of them I have are looking to the right or to the left. We're going to have her looking to the right. So let me just hold that together really quickly. I may need to put a little bit of green stuff in there just to get her head to sit correctly. It actually looks like I'm going to. So that's no problem. We'll take a little bit of green stuff. Just a little tiny bit of blue and a little tiny bit of the yellow. Let's go ahead and mix this together. Now you want this to actually become green before you use it. Easiest way is just roll it in your fingers. It smells bad, so get used to that. It actually does smell really bad. For those of you with sensitive nose like mine, just try not to breathe until it's mixed. We almost got it to the right consistency. That's about right, but now we just want a tiny, tiny, tiny bit And what I want to do is get that off of my nail now. Because that will get... Wow, this did not work at all. This is beautifully... This is how good of a content producer I am. I'm just going to clip a little bit off with just this. Dip this onto the bottom of the head, just so it's there already. Because my nails are not making this work easy. Okay. Then I'm just going to go ahead. Come on. Hey! Hey! Wow, doing this with nice nails is next to impossible. Where'd that go? There it is. Okay, I got this. I got this. Can my nails just work with me for like 2 seconds? I don't want her head poking that far out. There we go. Okay, so sorry about that, but we did manage to get her head to turn the way I wanted. But now there's a little green blob back here, so we're just going to go ahead and cut that off with our X-Acto knife. Turn her head just a bit. There. So that's how I want it. See how good that looks? Just a slight edit like that just makes the model look so much better. Now for her bolt gun, I actually do want to try to keep her hand. So I'm going to go ahead and just start clipping her bolt gun off. So we're going to go just in front of the finger itself. So we're going to cut right here. Okay. Drop that piece of the bolt gun. And then I'm going to go right above her hand. So right there. I've done this enough times. I think I have 5 of this model that I've done this to. So now I want to put that down. And I want to take the bolt gun itself, and I'm going to cut the hand off the bolt gun. And that's how quick that was. As I drop this, scare the crap out of myself, I'm going to go ahead and just sand this down just a bit. Give that a nice and flat surface. And then just a little dab of glue. Not even that much. Oh, we gotta take a small part of her hand. And her hand is gone forever because I dropped it. Instantaneous for you, 10 minutes for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try to connect this really quickly. So that is, as soon as it slides away, that is what it looks like now. The gun doesn't look too big. It is a Godwin pattern bolter, so it should be a little bit bigger than your standard bolter. And now what's cool about having this type of chainsword is we can actually put this on her back and it'll be good. So we're gonna go ahead and attach her other leg now. Tiny dabs, that's all you need. Is dabbing still a thing? I feel like dabbing is not a thing anymore. I feel like that died last year. I know like some people still do it, but I feel like that fad is now dead. Can we declare it dead? I want to declare it dead. Okay, and now we just need to attach her grenades from the front of her. Pretty sure that is dead. Ah. Okay, this is gonna take forever. Okay, so that is now on her. And I did go ahead and just cut off the chain just a little bit because I want to put her hands in more of a, well, actually the stereotypical pose, but just looking a little bit better, if that makes sense. So I'll go ahead and just put a little tiny bit of super glue in there, and I'll find her hand, and I will try to connect her hand where it's supposed to be, which is taking me an obscenely long time to do. And it's gone. So. Try to get this camera where it's supposed to be. Here she is with her combi flamer, looking all spiffy, looking over all stoic-like. So the one thing that we want to do is now attach the chainsword to her. So the biggest thing is I'm just going to cut off this inquisitorial rosette back here, and that's where I'm going to attach the chainsword. So I'm going to go ahead and just carve that out. All the snow falls off my roof. I'm going to put a tiny dab of glue right there. And then we're just going to go right over it with the chainsword. Wait for it. Wait for it. If it will, you know, not stick to my hand and actually stick to where it's supposed to go, that would be terrific. Wait for it. Still wants to stick to my hand, but she now has a chainsword on her butt. Everybody needs a chainsword on their butt. That's where all chainswords go. So, we have Amalea finished, being more useful. So now we can actually move on to the rest of the squad that we have to go over today, which is the Retributor squad, which I'm excited about, to be honest. And you've probably been wondering why this Blood Angel sprue has been here. Well, the Blood Angel sprue actually has a heavy flamethrower and a heavy bolter, both of which we're going to make use of today. So I figured, why not just grab it? We also have 30k heavy bolters, more heavy bolters over here, and we're just going to make 6 different Retributors, or 5 different Retributors. So let's get to that. So to save just a bit of time, I went ahead and just started building the sororitas legs. Now, because I'm using Amaleus as the sister superior of this squad, it means that I can actually use 5 heavy weapons. There's no rules for that. It just means I have 5 bodies to put heavy weapons on. So what I have to sit here and think now. Do I need extra heavy bolters? I do have 12 of them currently. So I could either build the 2 multi-meltas and go for 3 heavy flamethrowers, which I think is the best option in my opinion as of right now, because I don't actually have any multi-meltas in my army. And they're pretty decent right now, so I'm kind of curious about them. So I think what I'm going to do is 3 multi-meltas and 3 heavy flamethrowers, 2 multi-meltas. I think that's where we're going to do. Okay, so we have all the legs together now, which is a good thing because, you know, never skip leg day. It's very important, especially if you want nice hips, a good butt, and, you know, strong legs. I mean, you kind of need to never skip leg day, otherwise you'll walk up a flight of stairs and realize you're old. And I think the people who don't understand that are too young to understand it, and the people who get it just kind of went oof. Anyway. Now we're going to take a look at the actual sororitas that are on here. They did give you quite a few bodies to choose from the classic breast armor, the more gothic, more appealing armor in my opinion. The one that actually looks like a corset, which is what they're supposed to be wearing because they are very gothic and it is a style and it is not sexualized. Or you can get the tabard, which looks horrendous and shouldn't even be a thing. But for some reason, GW decided to do that, and I don't like it. But regardless, we're going to go with the more classical sister look. So we're going to go ahead and find those pieces really quickly and start clipping them out. Boop, and boop, and... Wait a second. first one. Now I'm going to go ahead and just clip out all of them and get them glued together. Just to save time, I'm going to do this off camera. Just to, you know, save time. Who would have guessed? I just said that. Should probably stop. Yeah. You know what? Let's just pause this. So I went ahead and just put them all on, got all their torsos together. Now, funny thing, this sprue doesn't actually contain enough backs, but it does contain a few extra fronts for the chest plate itself. So if you do make your own 1 part to 2 part mold, you can actually use the rest of the sister battle fronts that are on here. That is, of course, if you want to use it. Now, when I would actually use these more tabard type, I think it's called a tabard, I could be completely wrong, but the tabard style look for these sisters, which is right here, which is still like a corset, but not the same. You could use them for acolytes. They'd be really cool for that. But for battle sisters, I'm not going to use that because that seems silly. Now, I do know that it is actually over the armor, and the armor is still present and everything. I cannot get over the fact that it looks silly. So with that in mind, yeah, no. So we're gonna go ahead and put the Sister Superior, who has their arm like ridiculously up in the air for no reason whatsoever. I think it's because Macho Man Randy Savage is supposed to be choke slamming somebody, but I think that's a wrestling move, right? Yeah. So I don't know how exactly we're going to make that look normal. I might just take my heat gun to it and melt it to bend it down, but I'll see what I can do with it. So right now, we're just going to go ahead, put some glue here, grab the body it's supposed to be attached to. By the way, these are body specific, so if you thought that this was a multi-part plastic kit that can actually be posed in different ways, well, you're kind of mistaken. It's pretty cut and dry, as I cannot get this piece to sit on here at all. What the hell is she supposed to... Oh, the leg is supposed to go like way up front. She's supposed to be sitting like this? Oh, that's ridiculous. Ooh, I do not like that stance at all. That's going to be very difficult to use. But, okay. We'll see what we can do with this. You know what I'm going to do instead? Because I'm just going to wing this. And that's how we do things on this channel. We're just going to go ahead and cut that tab right off. Because if you know anything about me, I hate static posed models. So we're going to go ahead and cut that off. And then, instead of gluing it, I'm just going to take the glue off of my finger. Okay, so that's nice and dry. I'm going to go ahead and take my green stuff, which has been sitting here for like 20 minutes, so I think this dried. Yeah, it did dry. Whoops. I've been taking breaks in between this, mostly to tend to my injured finger, which is burning like crazy, by the way. Like, it literally feels like it's on fire. It is a terrible pain. I think this is the Emperor testing my loyalty, and I will show him that I am not wanting and that this is fine. I will finish these for the glory of the Emperor, and if I need to go through a little bit of pain, that is fine. That is absolutely fine. You know what? That's cool. I'm just gonna complain about it for a second, because my God, I still can't believe it happened though. It was so silly. I just get out of the I slipped getting out of the shower to grab a towel and hit the piece of wood that is supporting the shower rack and just ripped. Ow, 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 I touched it. And ripped right into it. So I'm going to go ahead and tear a little bit of this. We're going to go up to these legs. I'm going to go ahead and just put this blob on there. We're going to take this. We're going to squish this into place so that it goes slightly over more. It's still roughly the same spot, but I think it just looks a little bit better because it's not as over. Wow, it's supposed to sit just like that. Wow, that is so ridiculous. This girl's got hips for days, damn. Randy Savage has got hips. Heard it here first. You know, that's going to be the comment. That if you made it this far into this video, I want you to comment that Randy Savage has got hips for days. Alright, so now that I got that on, I'm going to go ahead and put the torsos on all the legs right now. Okay, so we got the bodies together. They're looking alright. I had to green stuff one of them because I accidentally clipped a little bit too high when I did it. But they're looking pretty good. The new plastic sisters definitely look better. Also, did you know that they're taller than your typical tactical marine? Yeah, just a little bit of a funny thing. Also, the Skitarii are way taller than them. So that's a Sister Superior. So we have all of them already built and, you know, ready for their weaponry. So again, we have to choose their weaponry, and we have to choose their weaponry very carefully. And I really think I'm going to do the double meltagun and triple flamethrowers, because to me that just seems like the best course of action, because I want to do, I want to get 6, well, I'm going to buy probably close to 4 boxes of Retributors, just so I can get 6 with multi-meltas, 6 with heavy flamethrowers, actually 8 and 8, so 16, so that's 4 boxes. Yeah, 4 boxes of them along with their sister superiors. And yeah, the heavy bolter ones I'm probably not going to do, but I will collect and then eventually just buy a battle sister squad and put all the heavy bolters on there because, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? Just to have like 12 heavy bolters, because I think the battle sister squad comes with 2 already. So let's see. We got this is part of the heavy flamethrower. This is part of the heavy flamethrower. We're just going to cut right there. Go right to it. Get into it. Cut. Into it and cut. Okay. And where is the arm for that weapon? Seriously, where's the other arm for these weapons? There's one here. One here. Is there only 2 arms on this? 3. And there's 1, 2, 3 weapons on this thing. 3 weapons? Am I blind? I feel like I'm blind. Well, we'll see what happens. Boop. And let's get this weapon out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out all the weapons off camera just to save you guys some time, and we'll build another one. So we're starting to get some of the heavy weapons put on these girls. Like the heavy flamethrower here, you'll see that there's no wires attached just yet. We're going to get those attached in just a minute. We got 2 heavy flamethrowers and 2 multi-meltas being put onto these girls. I really like these multi-meltas. Though I don't know how you actually fire them. It doesn't seem to be a firing pin in there. Odd. Probably just mind bullet it. I don't know, it's 40k. They just magic it into existence. So we do have this last sister. Now this one's going to be a bit of a challenge because I'm building this one out of the... Why did this all move over? I'm building this one out of the superior. So it is going to be a little bit awkward because of how she's going to hold the gun. So I'm going to see what she looks like. I may tear her apart and redo this depending on how this looks. And I, you know, immediately break off the other arm. Okay. Once my nails cooperate. Let's see. We're gonna have to hold it over here just for a second. Sorry about that. Wow, this is actually taking forever to do. Okay, let's just hold it for a few seconds. Let it go. and we'll let the glue dry on her while we go ahead and cut out this heavy flamethrower from the Blood Angel Tactical Squad, which is actually really cool that they get heavy flamethrowers. I seem to see a correlation between being angelic and getting flamethrowers, not counting the salamanders because they're more pseudo-Simoleon slash like Zulu. I want to say that kind of like Zulu. Okay, so we got the heavy flamethrower off of this one. Now this one's going to look very different than all of the other sisters' weapons, but it's fine. Really, it is. So I am going to destroy a heavy bolter to do this because I feel like I'm going to get enough heavy bolters that I don't really mind doing this to. So if you are a fan of heavy bolters, I'm so sorry. You can turn away. I won't judge you. So we have to figure out how I'm going to do this. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut off this hand right here. I'm probably going to leave this hand because sculpting fingers is very difficult. Or I might cut it off entirely. This is a really tough choice. So I'm going to wing it like I usually do. And we're going to go ahead and just pop this piece off. And that just went flying across the room. I don't even know where that went. Pretty sure it's in the stratosphere right now. As where all bits eventually wind up. I'll go ahead and sand this down just a bit. Get it nice and flat. And then I am going to leave that second hand there. So now I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. I'm going to pick about right... I think about right there. We're going to cut into this. As everything around me moans and tries to groan and run. Okay. Now I should be able to just slice it with no problem from this. There we go. Okay, so now we just need to clean up this piece just a bit. So let's go ahead and just clip that piece off. Clip the top off. And there we go. So we get a nice good square out of it. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of super glue on it. And it almost lines up perfect. I say almost because it kind of doesn't, but it's just about there. Put a little bit of green stuff on it to fix it. Okay, that is not going to set. All right, I got to figure this one out. Let's try taking a little bit more off the bottom. Not hitting that hand is going to be tough. Okay. I am going to need some green stuff to fix this. Okay, just holding this carefully, gluing it to my hand, trying not to get my hand stuck to it. We just need to hold that. No, you just want to stick to my hand instead. Okay, let's try that again. So first time didn't work, but that's okay. We are patient. Okay, I am not patient. This is going to take forever. So I went ahead and cut that off and put a little bit of green stuff on it so I can level it out and make it look, you know, more aesthetically pleasing. It does look all scraped up and everything, but trust me, it's actually flat. it just looks like that. Paint will clear that right up. It's not that big a deal. So now we have a Sister Battle Heavy Flamethrower. So we're going to go ahead and see if I can get this on this girl, because we have to check if this can even get on her. Otherwise, all of that work was for nothing, and that would suck. Because that was like 40, 50 minutes of work, and I broke her in half. Hey, yeah, today is a day that is happening, and I glued it to my finger. Can I just be done with today? I ripped my nail, I broke my model, I am in pain, and now I'm annoyed. Okay. Just stick that there. I thought this was dry by now. I guess I was wrong. There we go. Just go ahead and get this on here. Okay, perfect. Sorry. I had to do that off camera really quickly. Okay. I'm going to sit and let her dry. And we'll switch back to her. And we'll see what happens. And I do apologize about the guy outside snow blowing. It is very, very, very annoying, but it's also very, very cold here in New York. Okay, so that shoulder pad up in the air does look a bit silly. So once this dries, I'm going to go ahead and take my heat gun and try to bend that down and see what happens when I do that. I may actually lose this sister in the process, but it's a sacrifice I'm worth taking. It's for the Emperor. She'll understand. It's for fashion. Okay, so that hand will actually not work, so I went ahead and cut it off. So now we're going to go ahead and try to affix the new flamer to the Sister of Battle. Keep in mind, I've never done this kind of conversion before. I'm just kind of winging it right now. Also, I think my glue just super glued itself shut, which is fun. It's something that happens with super glue quite often. It just does that. There we go. Ah, that is a lot of super glue on my hand. I'm so good at this. Oh wow, there's a lot of pressure on here too. Okay. We're gonna try to do this without making too much a mess. Or getting super glue everywhere. So we're gonna push this thing together and hold it for a second. And now we got a sister with a Space Marine Heavy Flamer. You know, add some diversity amongst our sisters so they don't all look the same. Because ironically, a lot of their weapons and war gear does come from Holy Mars, but that doesn't mean that it's all made exactly the same, because there are multiple forges on Mars. And yes, it is fabricated on Mars through an STC, but there's but there's also several different STCs that the Ecclesiarchy can buy from, and thus supply their sisters differently. Also, if they're under the command of an Inquisitor could issue war gear to them, could requisition war gear for them from a different forge, and thus equip them differently. So with that, we do have all 5 done and our Sister Superior. So the next thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this really quick on my own, is I'm going to superheat this right here and push it down. So let's see how that looks. If I destroy it, I'll tell you all about it. So it didn't actually work and I dropped the sister instead. You know what? I think this is a good point to stop this video, because I have been working on these for the past 4.5 hours, and I have other things I need to do today before I get nettled at some sisters. So with that, we did get 4 out of 5 of the sisters done. It does look like you are stuck with a superior, unfortunately, which really, 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 really sucks. I will try some other conversions on my own and see what I can do. But as of right now, I'm actually really upset by the static posing of these Sisters of Battle. I was really hoping for maybe like something to help them, but unfortunately we are stuck with static poses. Is what it is though. Patararas. Anyway, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check all the links in the description down below. There you can follow me on all sorts of social media. And yeah, if you're super awesome, please check out my Patreon. Patreon goes a long way to helping out the channel. It actually did, well, it didn't buy this set, but it did pay for the trip to Iceland where I went and bought this set. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm NornQueenAlexis. I love you guys. Bye. Hey everyone, do you want a cool shirt? Be sure to check out my Teespring. Link is in the description down below.